Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're all about Karl-Anthony Towns today,
All KT, all the time.
but we're going deeper than the highlight reels.
Oh yeah, much deeper.
We're really diving into this awesome interview he did recently. It's wide-ranging, covers a lot of ground.
A lot to unpack there.
And our mission today is to figure out what makes KT tick.
On the court, off the court.
Exactly. So right off the bat, KT drops this bombshell.
Oh, wait.
He thinks he's the best shooting big man ever.
Wow.
Better than Dirk Nowitzki.
That's a statement.
Right. The guy with the championship ring, all those records.
Bold claim.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you make of that? Is this just KT being KT, that supreme confidence?
I think it's more than just bravado. It's fundamental to his identity as a player.
Totally. He owns that statement, you can tell.
And that kind of confidence, it can be a double-edged sword.
How so?
It can fuel greatness, but it also has to be balanced with, the humility to keep learning.
To keep growing.
Exactly. Which brings us to his time at Kentucky. Because here's a funny thing. He shot way fewer threes in college,
Really?
which seems counterintuitive.
You'd think he'd be jacking them up left and right.
Right. But he said Coach Calipari had a different plan.
Interesting.
Calipari knew that to make it in the NBA, KT needed more than just a sweet shot,
Had to be well-rounded.
a complete player,
So college was about developing those skills.
even if it meant sacrificing stats.
And there's a great story about this. KT only scored 2 points in a game against North Carolina.
Ouch.
But he was thrilled because his team won.
Wow.
Talk about putting ego aside.
That says everything about his character, understanding the bigger picture even back then.
Right from the start.
Already a team-first mentality.
Okay, but we got to address the elephant in the room.
The playoffs.
Exactly. KT himself has admitted he hasn't been at his best in the postseason.
Yeah.
He owns up to it, says he needs to be better, and that, falling short of a championship, it eats at him.
It's fuel.
Big time. And remember when he was putting up like 1,500 shots a day?
Intense.
Even Charles Barkley thought it was too much.
But it shows you the pressure cooker of the playoffs, man.
It's different.
Even superstars feel it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The intensity is just, it's next level. Now, this leads us to a really interesting development. The Timberwolves pairing KT with Rudy Gobert.
People were surprised.
Yeah, like two traditional big men. In today's NBA,
Seemed, I don't know, a little outdated maybe?
for sure, but KT sees Gobert's value, especially on defense.
Right.
And he really believes their games complement each other.
An interesting experiment. The league is always changing, right?
Or always.
So can two dominant interior players work in this era of spacing and three-pointers?
It's a great question.
Challenges the old ways of thinking.
Totally. And KT has said that Gobert's defense, just his presence, it elevates the whole team.
Having that anchor changes things.
Frees KT up to do what he does best on offense.
Well, sure. But can it outweigh the potential downsides? We'll see. It'll be fascinating to watch.
Speaking of fascinating dynamics, let's talk about KT and Ant Edwards.
Love their chemistry.
KT's taken on this mentor role.
And he's invested.
Big time.
Yeah.
And it's not just basketball. He wants to help Ant grow as a person.
Leadership qualities.
Exactly. And you know what I find really cool about their dynamic? KT says he's more open to criticism from Ant than anyone else.
Wow.
That kind of vulnerability and trust,
Pretty rare.
especially in a business as, high pressure as the NBA,
It speaks volumes about their relationship.
for sure. They get each other. And it's not just Ant, this whole mentorship thing that focus on relationships. It goes beyond basketball for KT.
Yeah, he's been making moves in the business world.
Smart moves, learning from guys like 50 Cent, A-Rod.
That's a good group to learn from.
No kidding. And, we see more and more athletes becoming investors.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
It's smart. It's strategic.
It's the future.
No doubt. They're building something that lasts beyond the game.
For sure. But you know what really struck me? KT talking about the power of saying no. Like with all these opportunities coming at him, he's learned to be selective.
Protect your time, protect your energy.
Exactly. And it's something we can all relate to, right? Knowing your priorities.
Tuning out the noise.
100%.
Yeah.
He also talked about his inner circle
The people he trusts.
to help him navigate all of it, the decisions, on and off the court.
Having that support system is huge, especially in the NBA.
No doubt. And speaking of connections, I think we should acknowledge his mother's passing.
Such a difficult topic.
It obviously had a profound impact on him.
It's a reminder that these athletes, they're human beings,
Absolutely. They have lives and emotions just like the rest of us.
And these experiences shape them.
It's impossible to imagine going through something like that.
It really puts things in perspective.
He said his mother taught him the true meaning of love.
Beautiful.
Like how to love deeply even when it means risking being hurt.
That's powerful.
Really is. Okay, ready for a little break from the heavy stuff?
Sure.
Let's talk Gillette debate, Kai's pick. LeBron James.
Ah, the debate that never dies.
Never. Everyone's got an opinion. But what I found interesting was his reasoning.
Go.
He emphasized LeBron's talent, his dominance, his ability to silence the doubters.
Year after year. It's remarkable.
And his longevity. He's been a force for so long.
2 decades at the top of his game. Plus, his impact goes beyond the court.
Right. Activism, social justice.
A true icon.
So, as our resident basketball expert, where do you stand on the LeBron versus Jordan debate?
You know, I can't answer that. It's way too hot a topic.
Yeah.
But I think what KT highlights is the importance of just recognizing greatness.
Appreciating the legacy.
Exactly. Whether you're Team LeBron or Team Jordan, you can't deny their impact on the game and beyond.
Totally agree. Okay, let's pivot back to KT for a minute. He got pretty personal about his relationship with Jordan Woods.
Yeah, it sounds like their friendship just kind of evolved into something more.
At the right time, maybe?
They were both going through some things and they found support in each other.
He was drawn to her strength, her wisdom.
And he's talked about how his parents taught him to, shut up and listen.
Right. And it sounds like Jordan provided that listening ear he needed.
It's a good reminder that sometimes the most meaningful connections come when you least expect them.
And during those tough times, it's so important to have that kind of support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can see how much they support each other's ambitions, too.
For sure. KT's doing his thing, on and off the court, and Jordan's building her own career.
They lift each other up.
It's a true partnership. They've also been pretty open about, dealing with the rumors and scrutiny that come with being in the public eye.
Yeah, that stuff could be brutal.
It's a constant barrage.
Yeah.
Remember that whole thing about KT's supposedly being seen with someone else?
Oh, yeah.
It just shows how tough it can be to navigate fame and relationships.
The rumor mill never stops.
Never. But it sounds like KT and Jordan have a strong foundation of trust.
It's crucial.
They're not letting the noise affect them.
Good for them. Focusing on what matters.
Exactly. Building a life together. Okay, last but not least, we gotta talk about KT's New Jersey roots.
Hometown hero.
Always repping Jersey. I love it. And it's more than just, wearing the hat.
It's in his heart.
Remember when he talked about his all-time New Jersey basketball Mount Rushmore?
Curious who made the cut.
He put Jay Williams on there.
No way. Really?
Swear, said he was a huge fan growing up.
That's kind of cool. Shows he's not just about the obvious choices.
Not at all. He sees the game differently, recognizes talent that maybe others miss.
He's always thinking about the bigger picture.
Always. Which I think is what makes him so interesting. It's not just about the talent, the stats, the accolades.
And he's got plenty of those.
He does. But it's deeper than that.
It's the drive, that constant push to get better.
Exactly. He could easily just, coast.
Oh, for sure. He's accomplished so much already.
But he's wired differently. He wants to be the best, and he's willing to put in the work. And the crazy thing is, he's still young.
So much potential.
So much. So what's next for KT? Big question, right?
Can he lead the Timberwolves deep into the playoffs?
Can he and Gobert really make this whole too big thing work?
It's a fascinating question. And what about his influence off the court?
Right. He's got a platform, and he's using it.
It's going to be an exciting journey to watch unfold.
No doubt. He's more than just a skilled big man. He's a student of the game, a loyal teammate, someone who's clearly been through a lot.
Absolutely. And he's got a unique story, and he's making a difference on and off the court.
He really is. Well, there you have it, a deep dive into Karl-Anthony Towns. We covered a lot of ground today.
His mindset, his relationships, his ambitions.
The forces that have shaped him. It's been awesome.
Totally agree. He's one of a kind.
He really is. So one final thought for you to ponder. We talked a lot about his potential, his drive to be great, but do you think he has what it takes to be the face of the NBA? Tough question, right?
It's a crowded field.
It is, but he's got the talent, the charisma. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.